DAX is a formula language commonly used in Microsoft Power BI to create measures, calculated columns, and custom tables. So once you understand and master DAX, it gives you powerful controls over your visuals, reports, and eventually over your dashboard within your Power BI reports. So welcome back to Excel Island, where the goal and objective is to learn and master the Microsoft Power BI tool over the next 100 days. And today is day 46. We've been learning consistently over the last 45 days. Sorry, we actually took a break. I think it was quite up to 10 or 12 days break, and we are back on day 46. So hopefully we go straight down to day 100 without having a single break. But there could be burnout. We may need to rest and catch up on our previous lessons. Also, so do well to support the channel by subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I go live or drop a new content. So you can catch all the lessons from day 1 till today on the live stream tab on the channel. So if you want to start your own Power BI journey with me. Also, you have access to all the exercise files or Power BI files that we've been using so far over the last 45 days using the link under the YouTube description. So on today's live stream, we started a course over the past 4-5 live streams. We started learning all about DAX. And we're actually on a course called Intermediate DAX in Power BI. We're actually on chapter 3 of the course, which is understanding how to summarize using DAX or table manipulation functions to actually summarize and analyze our table. So without further ado, let's jump back to learning and welcome to day 46 of this Power BI learning journey. So if I go back to my DataCamp dashboard, you can see we're actually on a course called Intermediate DAX in Power BI. And we started learning all about DAX. I think it's over the last 2 courses. I think there's 2 courses actually dedicated to DAX within this whole career track. If I go under the track section here and I click on career tracks, you can see. So we started with the data analyst in Power in SQL career track when I started this whole habit of learning. Then we moved to data analysis in Power BI. And definitely after finishing this whole career track, I can see we are over 50% throughout the whole career track. That is amazing. We are starting with data analyst with Python career track also. So you definitely want to subscribe right now and put on the notification bell so you'll be the first one whenever I go live or drop a new content or a new knowledge on the channel, so you can improve yourself as a data analytics person. So I click on data analysis in Power BI real quick. You can see that it contains over 17 courses estimated for 48 hours, and we're actually 61% over the whole character. And we've covered quite a lot from introduction to Power BI. You can catch all of that on the live stream tab on the channel. So you can see that we did some case study also, like this analyzing customer churn in Power BI case study. We also did H analytics in Power BI case study. So do make sure to download those files under the link in the YouTube description so you can practice along with me. So let's move on to today's. Let's continue from where we stopped, which is intermediate DAX. And we're actually on course number 11. You see, we have a couple of more courses, more knowledge to cover and get to the end of the whole. That means it's covered quite a whole lot about Power BI. That doesn't mean if we are a master in Power BI, but we have a solid foundation in Power BI. If you could cover all these whole course within this interface. So let's continue with table manipulation function, which allows you to summarize and analyze the tables right from a data set. All right, welcome back.
Hi again. Are you starting to feel like a DAX ninja yet? I'm Martin, and I'll be the second instructor for this course. In this lesson, we'll talk about table manipulation functions. You've already seen table manipulation functions, such as distinct, which removes duplicates, and select columns, which returns a table with one or more selected columns. Now, 2 more table manipulation functions will be added to your toolbox. The first one is add columns, which takes the input table and adds 1 or more selected columns to it. The second one is summarize, which returns a summary table for the requested totals over a set of groups. Let's cover them one by one. Add columns returns a table that contains the original input table extended with one or more new columns. For example, you can calculate and add a profit column directly to a table containing revenue and costs. The output will contain the original table appended with the newly calculated column. This is the main difference with select columns, which only returns the selected columns. Notice that both functions require the same arguments. The second new table manipulation function is summarize. By definition, it returns a summary table for the requested totals over a set of groups. Let's break that down to fully understand this. First, the function takes an input table, in this example, the amounts table, displayed on the right. Then that table is grouped by one or more columns, year and category in this case. Finally, you can create one or more new columns by specifying a name and a corresponding expression. Here, the total amounts is calculated by summing the amounts in each group. The result is a summary table, with the total amount for each combination of year and category. Note that total amount is different for each row, because it is evaluated in the filter context of year and category. Since summarize is a complex function for querying your data with many options for arguments, it has to be used with caution. Although the function can create new columns, it might result in unexpected results based on the context. Therefore, it is recommended to create new columns with an add columns function wrapped around summarize. Add columns will always use the row context and will produce the same but consistent results compared to the summarize call on the left. Let's summarize this video with an exercise.
Okay, so let's summarize the video with an exercise real quick. Okay, we definitely need to read the instruction. Just a minute. Okay, so some summary of summarize. It says summarize is a powerful table or manipulation functions to query your data. It takes a table as an input and its output depends on the argument you specify. However, there are limitations on what the function can do. So which of the following is not possible with summarize? So I want to know which of the following is actually not possible with summarize. We say create new columns. You can create a new column with summarize. Remove duplicate rows. I will go with that. Calculate the measure with a running total. You can definitely perform a running total. Then group by more than one column. That is the criteria. So we can remove duplicates with summarize. So let's go for that. Ooh, can you? So why does it actually remove? Since the output of the summarize function is grouped by one or more columns, a side effect is that each row of the input table will be unique. Oh, that's true. Okay. Let's go for running total. Yeah, that should be running total. Running totals to do with repeating totals over time. Okay, splendid summarize. So summarize will always result in a table with columns, not measures. In addition, a new column should be created using add columns for best practices. Okay. Like the one that was suggested in the video. After using summarize, then you could just use the add column functions to create a new column. That we need an example. Let's see it in action first. Hold up a minute. Okay. Let's see the summarize and add columns in action.
Welcome back. In this demo, we'll have a deeper look at the marketing costs and we'll use the powerful summarize function to do so. The DIM account table has several accounts, such as IT cost, property cost, and marketing cost. These are hierarchically structured and all marketing costs are collected under account level 5. In this case, I'm only interested in accounts with a marketing cost combined with the account name and the account key to create a relationship with the fact table. So let's create a new table called DIM marketing costs. In a summarize function, I specify the table to start from, DIM account, and group by the columns account name, account key, and account level 5. For demonstrative purposes, I'd like to create a new column in this table called is marketing cost. To do this, I wrap the summarize call inside an add columns function with the name of the new column and an if statement returning true when account level 5 equals marketing cost. There we have it, an overview with all account names and whether they are marketing costs or not.
Let's listen to that one more time. So we understand the summarize parts. Then the add columns is used to add a new column into the summarized. Let's move back a little bit. Okay. Then use the add columns function. You have the table name, the table which is this, our summarized table. Then the expression, the name of the column. Okay. I think that is interesting to see. Return the table with a new column specified by the DAX function.
In this table called is marketing cost.
Okay, so our new table is our summarized version of our DIM account table. The name of the new column you want to create, expression, the formula that you want to use to create to get the result for the new column in your table. That's what it.
To do this, I wrap the summarize call inside an add columns function with the name of the new column and an if statement returning true when account level 5 equals marketing cost. There we have it, an overview with all account names and whether they are marketing costs or not. Note that you could have obtained the same result with a filter function, but it's good to know alternatives exist.
Okay.
Let's navigate to the model view to investigate the relationship between the fact table and the new DIM marketing costs table. There is no relationship yet, so let's establish one using a one-to-many relationship on account key. Let's now use our new table to visualize the transaction values for marketing costs using a ribbon chart. Use the date from the DIM calendar table as the axis, the account name from the new table as the legend, and the actual transaction amount as the values. Finally, I'll add the is marketing costs field as a filter, only selecting the true marketing costs. The chart reveals marketing costs are going down each year and that print is the account with the highest marketing costs for 3 consecutive years already. That's it for this demo. It's time for you to start summarizing in the exercises.
Okay, so let's use our knowledge to summarize in the exercises. So our first instruction is to hold up. So our first instruction and our first challenge here is summarize the facts table. We're going to add a column to our summarized version of the table. So that's it. So the first instruction says data tables sometimes contain repetitive rows of information and need to be condensed down for reporting. A summarize function can be used to group a table by one or more columns, condensing table down. So in this scenario, you are going to have a look at the profit ratio from chapter 2 again and visualize how it changed over time for the California sales. So one approach to do this is by creating a new table containing only the data you need without the need of specifying an additional relationship, improving performance of your reports. So let's launch our summary reports. So check out the files, exercise files, using the link under the YouTube description. So I go over here to open. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, let's open our data sets for chapter 3, summary reports. Let's see that. So this is coming up. So let's continue with the instruction. It says go to the data view and create a new table called California PR for profit ratio in California only. This new table should summarize the FAT sales table, grouping by employee, calendar year, and state province. You filter for California later. Okay. You can filter for California later. You can actually summarize the table using the employee calendar year and state province, but you can definitely filter the state province to California using the filter on probably on the image, filter on filter on this page or filter on the image or the visual rather. That is what I was trying to remember. So let's go to the data view right here. So we have to go to the facts table. Okay, the facts sales table. This table right here. So we need to create a new table using the summarize function right here. So we are going to use the employee, calendar year, and state province. That is the employee, which is our employee name here. I want to look for those columns. Okay. Let me read that again. The new table should summarize the fat sales table, grouping by employee, calendar year, and state province. So we want to go by the employee. We have the employee salesperson key here. We can point to the employee column here, the employee name right here. Okay, employee from the dim employee table, the calendar year and state province. Let's look for the state province. State province should be the dim city here. These are state province. And the calendar year should be the delivery date key. Let's look at the invoice dates. The calendar year, yeah, right here. So these are the three columns. So our three columns is separated in three tables. Okay, the employee, dim city table, and the invoice date. Okay, notwithstanding, since let's create our new table. Let's give it a shot. Okay, we're going to call our new table, give it a name called California PL. California PL is going to be equal to the summarize function. I'm not definitely not adding columns. Nope. This is a summarize function. I'll just go back here. So how to specify a table to summarize by? So we are going to summarize the fact sales table, but using columns from our first column is going to be coming from the employee table, then comma, then next should be a column from the calendar year. The calendar year. Let's do it. Let me make it like this. Let's make it much more readable. So we're going to summarize the first sales table by the employee column in the employee table, then the calendar year from the invoice dates table. Yeah, from the invoice date table, comma, then lastly by the state province, the province in the dim city table. Let's close that and see what we have here. Great, you can see the employee, then the calendar year for that actual employee, then the state the employee actually worked, or the province. So we nailed it there. Then moving on to commit the function and inspect the output. Note that this worked due to relationship present between the fact table and the dimension table. So it actually works based on the relationship that existed between these three tables to the fact sales table. So that's why our summarize function was we able to achieve this our new table using the summarize function. So if we move on to the next instruction, edit the California table syntax using a filter function so that it only keeps data for the state California. Now we have to use filter functions to only keep data for California. You can see for the city of California right here. Only filter out the other city, the other province, only for California. So we need to wrap it in a filter functions. So let's bring in filter there, filter right in there. So filter, this is our table we want to filter. Then I could just say comma. Our expression should not be. I'm taking about to come up with the expression for the filter function. That should be California state province. Let's see. State province from this column. Let me mention the state province. State province from. I need to mention the state province from my summarized table. I can see my California. Okay, let me look at California PL. Oh, I think I can't point to my table yet. I'm looking at if I can point to this table right here. But let me see if I can point to the state province. State province is equal to California. Let's see. Let's see if it's going to work like that. California. Okay. Great, it worked. You can see. So we actually filtered to only show record for California, which is interesting. I can just make this look neater. and easier to there. So I kind of like writing my DAX query like that. So you can see we actually filtered for the state province here to only show result for California. Let's log that in, which is already logged in. So the next instruction says how many rows does your new table have? So if you look at the row count here, just below here, just down towards the edge here, left hand side, just 40 rows. Listen guys, so that should be 40 rows. Let's log that in. 40 rows. Great, we nailed it. So that's how to use summarize plus filter to actually filter and summarize our table. Use the same word and gain insights from this. Okay, I think the next one is to add a column, a new column to the same filtered version of the table. So let's add a new column. So just although it is possible to create new columns with summarize, best practice is to add new column to a table using the add columns function. So we actually create a new column using the summarize function. Like if you could see in the slides, the best practice is to use the add columns to add a new column on top of your summarize table. In this way, the output will be consistent since add columns will always evaluate over the row context by default. In this exercise, you will expand the California payout table with the profit ratio from chapter 2. So if you lost any progress, so we didn't lose any progress, we can actually continue with this our version of reports that we have open. So add a column called profit ratio to the California PR table using the add columns function. Let's add a new column to this. You can just reuse the profit ratio calculated measure, writing all inside the new function. Let's figure that out. So we have a measure called profit ratio somewhere here. Where is it? Okay, this is right here. Profit ratio. What do you actually want to calculate? You want to calculate, add a new column called profit ratio to the California PR using the add columns function. You can just use the profit ratio calculated measure, writing all inside the new function. Okay. So definitely we don't have to create a new calculation for that. Okay, let's add a new column. So we go to the beginning of the table, say add columns. So we want to add a new column to this our table. So the name of the column is going to be profit ratio. So our new name for that column is going to be called profit ratio. That's what we have here. So give our new column a name. We call it profits profit ratio. Now the next is the expression for that profit ratio. I think we can just point to our calculated measure before, which is this profit ratio here. That should work. Let's give it a shot. If it doesn't work, we try something different. Okay. Ooh. So our new calculation is our new column is in decimal. So I think we need to put it in percentage. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So if I go back real quick to this our to the report view, let's look at what that measure is giving us, this profit ratio, the calculation behind it, which is just the average X of the total profit divided by the total sales to get the profit ratio. This was how we got our profit using the average X function that actually iterates through the fat sales table, picking the total profits column divided by the total profits. So if I go move really quick to that fat sales table, if I go back to my fat sales table, you see the total profits column. Oh, our total profits, okay, our total profit and total sales actually measures of total profits. Yeah, let's look at that. Because it is sum of total sales and a sum of the profit column. That was how we actually use those in our calculation here. Okay, interesting. So we figured that out. Interesting. So we are back here and let's follow the instruction and move on. So the instruction now says, return to the report view. Note that you do not need to create an additional relationship between this new table and the fact table since all necessary data is already presented in the California PR. Let's return to the report view, but let's do a sneak peek in the data model view to see whether a relationship has been created. No relationship has been created, but we may necessarily not use the new table to answer our calculation. But if we eventually want to create a relationship between this new table that we've created here and our fact sales table, let me see. Okay, let me go a little bit deeper. So I think we can be using the calendar here to connect to this fast sales table. Let me see. If you use the employee ID, the employee name to connect to the employee ID, there's definitely going to be a column here in the fast sales table that we can use to connect to this our new table here. Well, let's follow the instruction to the latter and go back to the report view where it says, go to the report view. Okay, we've done that. Create a ribbon chart visual of the California data with a ribbon for every employee showing the profit ratio by calendar year. Okay, let's open a ribbon chart. Let's have a ribbon chart here. This is a ribbon chart right here. Let's drop in a ribbon chart. So for the ribbon chart, we are going to the calendar, California payroll calculation. Since all of them are unique, so we don't even need to create a relationship. That's true. I think I now understood this second part of the instruction better now. So create a ribbon chart visual of the California PR data with a ribbon for every employee. Okay, let's open the employee on the ribbon. Okay, that's our axis. We've got the employee on the ribbon. Then next is the profit ratio. Should be, let's see where the profit ratio is going to be. The profit ratio will be on our x and y axis. So you can just look at the data, the difference. You can see they're almost the same thing, but the year will be going to be different and the calendar year. Our calendar year should be part of the legend. Let's drop the calendar year to the legend parts. Let's drop calendar year on the legend parts. Aha, I did. Our visuals is now better. So for every year, you could see the profit ratio for each employee. Let's see that. So we actually drop the employee name on the axis, x-axis, then the profit ratio on the y-axis, then the legend on the calendar year on the legend to differentiate. So you can see for the year 2013, the blue is the year 2013, the purple is the year 2014, the orange is the year 2015, and the other color here, probably this is dark purple. Oh, this is light blue and dark blue. Then the purple, this is the year 2016. So 2013. Okay, let's look at the instruction to see how we can analyze these data sets. So which employee had the only consistent decrease of profit ratio over the years? Only consistent decrease of profit ratio over the years. Okay. How many employees are we seeing here? Profit ratio. It's very interesting. You need to understand how you're going to interpret this chart. It asks which employee had only the consistent decrease of profit ratio over the year. Okay, you can see this employee here, this yellow here, you can see there was a decrease, increase, decrease, increase, then decrease. That should be, oh, the names, our legend is kind of giving off employee. Is there a Chalamba? Let's see this one here. Chalamba also. Acha. Lily Cole is there. Wow. So the funny thing is, okay, I think I'm under Lily Cole here. Okay, I could just look at the employee names under here. But what look for the one that has consistent decrease over the years. Let's see. Acha. Lily Cole here. Funny enough, I haven't figured out how to interpret these charts. Who is there? You can see. So the ribbon chart is kind of funny in this sense. If I go for an employee that has consistent decrease over the years, consistent decrease in profit ratio over the years. We have Hudson, Anthony, and Acha. You can see we have Acha there, but let's look at it one more time. You can see everything here is actually Acha. But when you look at the legend, so the color difference is showing results for each year. So this is for 2015. This is for, is it comparing here? I think the ribbon chart is comparing. Let's go for Acha first. Let's go for Acha. Oh, that's not correct. So it's not Acha. So let's see. Let's be careful. The challenge is that I don't know how to interpret this chart, so I need to go and understand how to interpret this ribbon chart. But let's see. Is there any info here? There's no info. Probably I will need to watch the video one more time. Let's see. Okay, let me go for the other Anthony. Let's look for Anthony. This is Anthony here. We have Anthony here. But when you look at the Anthony's profit ratio, you can see. So the so Anthony is, so when you look at Hudson, we have Hudson here. Okay, so actually figuring out to interpret this chart is kind of funny. But let us just watch the video one more time. Let me just see the way it was in the video real quick. Let's move to the
There is no
fonts. Okay, we are here.
use the date from the dim calendar table as the axis, the account name from the new table as the legend, and the actual transaction amount as the values. Finally, I'll add the is marketing costs field as a filter, only selecting the true marketing costs.
So I think I didn't visualize my data pretty well. It's supposed to be consistent color like this. You see?
The child as a filter.
Okay. Okay. You see that I use the axis legend values. So the section, the chart has actually changed. Let me just remove the chart one more time. There's no value section here. In the video, there's a value section to add values, which is where the profit ratio, I'll be adding my profit ratio. But in place of that, I should be able to add my values to the y-axis. Okay. Okay. Then to differentiate each, it uses the legend, which I also did here. Okay. Okay. So I'm supposed to be getting consistent color. Let me see the way you interpret it first.
Only selecting the true marketing costs. The chart reveals marketing costs are going down each year and that print is the account with
If you look at the year, okay. I did the mistake I did putting the profit ratio. I could have put, oh, okay, I use the employee. Okay, let me use the y-axis as the year. Let me use the y-axis as the year. Okay, the calendar year. Let's see. It is better now. I didn't input my measures, my columns the right way. Then my legend will definitely is going to be the employee name. Ooh, that's not fair. This is now spiral. Okay. I think we'll get the results better like this now.
With the highest marketing costs for 3 consecutive years already.
Let's see that. Now let's look at each employee. If we could see the employee, Anthony, see consistent decrease over the years. Because there's an increase in the profit ratio, then you can see, look at this. Even though there's still something off here, it is giving us Anthony for 2013, 2014. But so between 2013 and 2014 is ranking Anthony against himself. So the profit change between the 2 years is my negative 0.85. Interesting. So we still go for Anthony. You can see there is a consistent decrease in Anthony profit ratio. Oh, you can see the blue mark here is for Anthony. There's a decrease. That's correct. So I think we figured it out. How about this employee here? Oh, this outseen, there's an increase in 2015 to 2016. Oh, I think this is the way the chart is supposed to be, but it's kind of funny and interesting. The spiral part of the charts. Oh, that's good. So our answer is Anthony. That's absolutely awesome. Adding of columns. Notice how this California period table existed on its own, without any relationship or potential performance impact on the rest of your data model. Perfect for an ad hoc analysis. But they are supposed to tell us the value, so we can just compare it. But definitely it is Anthony. You can see there's a decrease in the Anthony. Is Anthony here? Because Anthony goes. If you look at the other names there, Acha, let's look at Acha real quick. Oh, this is Acha here. Acha should be this orange one here. You can see. Definitely that's Acha. You can see there's a decrease, then an increase. You can see then there's a decrease here. But Anthony is definitely the one with consistent decrease from 2013 to 2016. That's easy peasy. All right. Interesting to know about the ribbon chart. Never used chart before, but this was my first time using it, and it was interesting to see how we could figure out how to place our column values correctly. So definitely, we are starting. We are moving to the next time intelligence functions on day 47. So that will be all for today's live stream. So see you tomorrow to complete this intermediate DAX in Power BI. All right, so thanks for staying to the end of the live streams. If you found value in this learning journey with me, do well to support the channel by giving the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to practice also. Now access the files, all the Power BI files, using the link under the YouTube description to practice and update or see yourself in Power BI. As usual, I will see you on day 47. Have a wonderful day ahead.